sensitive.
Guilty.
Conflicted.
Misunderstood.
Determined.
Courageous.
This is really just a show about acceptance.
This show is probably the first show I've ever been involved with that I've seen almost from complete start to finish. I was at the meeting that Bear was pitched by Phil Veneta. I was at the meeting where it was put into the top 3 or the top 5 by the organization. I was there when Becca interviewed to be director.
So I usually just kind of take the script and read through it a few times just to know what I'm looking for in auditions.
The audition process, it was very relaxed for me. I mean, just went in and, you know, sang my song and got called back. Callbacks were very straightforward.
Once I go through auditions and I have a cast, I like to answer a few general questions about the character. Basically, why is this character important to the audience? What are their greatest strengths and weaknesses? And I really like to give them a background story, and I also like to make the cast do that as well.
I wanted Peter from the start. This show came out when I was in high school, and all of my friends loved it, but nobody else knew about it. So it's been a role that I've wanted for years. The story of Bear, basically it follows 2 seniors in high school in St. Cecilia's in, I guess, Connecticut is what we decided. Peter and Jason, who are involved in a secret homosexual relationship within the confines of this Catholic school.
Peter is Jason's best friend. Peter is very adamant in coming out about where Jason disagrees with his views and is scared to come out. So that's their one big fight throughout the whole show.
Well, he doesn't fit in, and I think that is his purpose in the show. Here's this boy who wants to be heard, and that's all he wants is for people to see him for who he is, and he's terrified that if people do see him for who he is, that he's going to be damned. And I think that want to be seen drives him throughout this show, and I think that is the catalyst for him to continue on. Because there are a lot of moments in this show where he's on the verge of giving up everything. But I kind of see him as a kind of a quiet hero. The relationship between Peter and Jason is very conflicted, and I think that the number one thing that's always in my head was one of those relationships that you never know what really could have been. Because there's never a point in the show where you see them completely happy together, unfettered, just loving each other.
Jason is, he's described as the golden child of St. Cecilia's Catholic boarding school. He is valedictorian of the senior class. He is charming, handsome. He's able to use his wit and charm to get his way. A lot of people pin him as a very simple character, being very superficial, being very one-tracked, but there's a lot more to him than a lot of people see.
Peter is ready to come out, and he's ready to take that next step. Jason can't exactly face that, so he wants to keep it a secret, and it's a constant conflict back and forth between the two of them. You have other characters in the mix like Ivy, who falls in love with Jason.
The relationship with Ivy for Jason, it's the one person that everyone tells you should be with, but I feel that the whole time Jason is acting, not only as Romeo, but also in this relationship with Ivy.
Ivy is known as the slutty girl in school.
She's popular, but I portray her as very insecure, and she kind of just does what society thinks she should do. And she doesn't always get what she wants. And not everyone likes her. And I think that she knows that, but she tries to hold it in. She almost feels alone because Jason's not there for her, and she doesn't have a close friend, and she looks to Nadia for support.
Nadia's kind of a tricky character because she's very sarcastic, she's very sassy, she's very witty, and you see that and you just kind of think of, oh, the slightly abrasive, kind of friend-zoned always person that just doesn't care what other people think. But she does. Nadia cares a lot about what other people think. She uses the sarcasm as an immediate defense mechanism. She's used to being told she's wrong. She's used to being told that she's fat. She's used to being told ways to improve. So the entire show is her just trying to please someone, trying to please her parents, her brother, her friends, Sister Chantel, and trying to please herself. Nadia's relationship with the other characters is also another tricky business. It's tricky to try and figure out who exactly Nadia likes and who she doesn't. I mean, it's very, very obvious who she doesn't like, because Nadia's one of those people where if she's got a problem with you, you'll know.
Then you have the whole character of the priest and how complex he is and his relationship between Peter and Jason.
My character in Bear is the priest. He is the headmaster of St. Cecilia's. He has two different sides. One side is that he's very much a regular headmaster. He's stern, but at the same time he's very chummy with his students. But then there's another side of him where he really follows the Catholic doctrine to a T.
A cavalcade of drama unfolds. Ivy gets pregnant via Jason, the end of Act 1. Nadia finds out, and then it all kind of comes to a head in Promise, and also outs him and Jason to everyone, and the rest of the school overhears this happening. So everybody finds out. Peter is basically like, I tried to help you, walks away, and then Jason is faced with this, decision of what to do, so he goes to the priest, the only thing that he knows. The priest tells him to cover it up. Jason and Peter pretty much come to terms with their relationship is over, which Peter ends. Jason takes a lethal dose of GHB, collapses during one of the scenes in Romeo and Juliet, and dies. You never know what really could have been.
His eyes on the lowly sparrow, the road is long, the path is narrow.
This was a different rehearsal process for me because it's all sung. It is all music. It's always a bit tricky to try and do blocking with singing because you have so many notes about singing and where to breathe and how to convey the emotion through just the song, and then you gotta add blocking to it. But we worked through it.
Happy birthday, Ivy, you are the special birthday bitch. We got you some Vagisil to help clear up that nasty itch.
That's pretty, Nadia.
You love that.
How's that?
She's gonna die.
We should be so lucky.
The set design and the process that I created it in was very different than how we would do it traditionally. I was just working in Dutcher during the construction for the set of the Children's Hour. And upon seeing the set for the Children's Hour, I had a couple of ideas of how we could switch that into the Bear set. And when I threw these ideas at the people who were in charge, it just kind of happened. They were like, oh, you have some really good ideas. Congratulations, you're head scenic designer. And I was like, oh, okay. It was kind of a set on the fly, if you will. Like, we built the set as we went. It was almost improv set design.
Of a lifetime is living a fantasy. The drama that you struggle to erase. Thoughts battle words over deeds, a war with such casualties.
The message of Bear. There's so many.
Faith, acceptance, and forgiveness.
Just learning about people and their own little deviations from societal norms, get to know who they are rather than what they are.
And understanding. And it's not, you know, like just those things, it's really trying to do those things.
It's one of the most powerful messages in a musical. Because of its tragic ending, just keep going. You know, no matter how hard it gets, keep going, keep living, and keep fighting another day.